everyone. Good evening. I am Sandrika from Lawyer from Business Department, Business Outreach Department. Today we are gathered here on a very special topic, which is IPR issues, infringement and injunctions. And we have two very special guests with us, which is Ms. Ayantika Mondal and Mr. Anik Sir from Prime Legal. To give you a brief introduction about our speakers, Ayantika Mondal is CEO and co-founder of Prime Legal, an academic at heart. She is curious about the law and loves to find creative solutions by utilizing the law. Her practice focuses on criminal, civil, family, and commercial advertising for multinational and Indian clients on different aspects of law. She has made a name for herself in employment law practice across all industry sectors and is known for strategic legal services and legal advices. A firm believer on judicial procedures, she strives to settle case in the quickest and least expensive way possible. Mr. Anik, he is the CEO and co-founder of Prime Legal. He has over a decade of rich experience in legal, law enforcement, and corporate affairs. He has head and mentored teams and has delivered on pan-India requisitions across lateral. He has unparalleled expertise in legal domain filled with key emphasis on the latest legal updates. He is session professional who is highly persuasive, agile in nature. About the Prime Legal. Prime Legal, the brainchild of Ms. Ayantika Mondal and Mr. Anik, was established in 2009 and aims at catering to need of legal advisory in different domains. Since its inception, Prime Legal has touched many lives through their exemplary services, and associates leave no stone unturned to offer the clients their best services. Prime Legal has made a mark for itself across diverse sectors such as consumer, competition, and anti-dumping, and international trade, and WTO, corporate and commercial, FDI, corporate restructuring, insolvency, criminal litigation, dispute resolution, arbitration, regulatory, employment, IP, and many more. They have also possesses exclusive expertise in handling family disputes and issues such as divorce, claiming maintenance, spread in different cities in India, including Bangalore, New Delhi, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Kolkata, with a team of experienced lawyers, experts with dual qualification of chartered accountants, company secretaries, cost accountants, MBAs, and engineers. Prime Legal has effectively resolved a wide range of legal and financial problems for their clients. With this, I would request Mr. Anik and Ms. Ayantika Mondal to take over the screen and share their viewpoints on today's topic.
Yeah, hi everybody. This is Anik here, and with me I have Ayantika.
Namaste everyone.
Okay. So guys, this is Prime Legal. So we established our law firm in 2009, and since then we have been working in different parts of countries, in different companies, and also for Prime Legal. So today's first of all, we would like to take the opportunity to thank the lawyer and the entire team for, to associate us with these sessions. We'll try to cover the topic related to the protection on the IPRL. So to begin with, what do you mean by IPRL? The full form of a IPRL, it speaks about intellectual property rights law. Now, what is the difference between a normal property and the intellectual property? Everybody speaks, like the moment I go and speak with any layman, the first questions come from them, sir, what is that intellectual? We might have heard in many places, many times that this person is very much clever, he's a very intelligent, or some kind of, he's a different kind of intellectual. Intellectual is nothing, but it's something is extraordinary. The person who is not thinking in a general way. Now, if he creates something from his brainchild, from his thought process, then it definitely need to be protected. So something extraordinary he might have created for his development or for anything. So that need to be created, or that need to be protected. The creation need to be protected overall. To protect that, basically the international convention was there. The members country joined there. Then they brainstorm, and later they came with a country-wise the protection. But if you look into the whole perspective of a IPRL law, the different laws we have for the IPRL, it is also connected for many international aspects also, and it is protected also in many extent of international jurisdiction. So if I'm talking about the IPRL, the intellectual property rights law, there are four things. There are four major legs. The first legs talk about the trademarks. The second legs speak about the copyrights. The third leg speaks about the patent design. So I will just give a very small briefing about these four legs, like the trademark, copyright, patents, and the design. And I will go to their protection mechanism. That is the whole discussion for the day today. I'm sure that many of you might have gone through the different procedure, how to file, how to, like process it in different area, how to present it, the forms, and all together, you might be knowing all those things. So I'm not getting into it so much. So what do you mean by patent? Patent is to, it is a protection of any invention. So I think so everybody may get interested with the example, something if I say about a COVID, okay. So you know that we are going through a very pandemic situation with uncertainty, with no vaccine, no medicine, nothing. So right now, just you think, Mr. XYZ company has come up with some, some treatment or some kind of medication or some kind of, some kind of tablets or something for which can be treated with a COVID patient. So, the first thing what he need to do, first he need to protect his brand name, Mr. XYZ company. Now, if I'm talking about the XYZ company, how that need to be protected? Then we need to think about how their advertisement need to be get protected. Then we need to think about how their medicine need to be get protected. Then we need to speak about how their packaging need to be get protected. So these are the four aspects. Otherwise, anybody may open XYZ company, XYZ on two companies, and they can start selling the same medicine. The genetic of a medicine, it's very easy to decode. Team, please let me know if any point of time I am going speed, like if you want me to bit slow down or something, kindly let me know. So accordingly, I will slow down. Chandrika, hope you are taking care of it from there. Okay, so yeah, thank you, Chandrika. So if I'm giving an example of a COVID, so suppose XYZ company created or invented the medicine which can be cured or treated the COVID patients. I am sure that close billions people will fall into this medicine, and there might be a second award or fourth award for getting that medicine. So if you look into that, if you consult with anybody, what should we be doing? Matlab, if that XYZ company is your client, or somebody who is inventing from this group of 100, 200 viewers, the first thing I need to speak about that was you need to protect the brand name, the XYZ company, which will create a severe impact in the industry. And everybody from now will be knowing who is XYZ and this pharmaceutical company. The first thing would be question about the XYZ company. So how it can be protected? It has to be protected by the trademark. Now, if I'm talking about a trademark, then there is a procedures to file before the jurisdictional office under some clauses. We need to pay some government fees plus legal fees. And there are two kinds of service for the trademark. Generally, people take service till filing. Some law firms or some of the people I have seen, they take it for end to end. So for the trademark, if you look into trademark, First, we need to find out under which clause it falls. We need to file particular applications. Then XYZ company's brand is protected. Now, nobody can open a XYZ 2 or XYZ Bangalore or XYZ Delhi or XYZ Kolkata. Then the second questions come, the contents on the advertisement. The moment they bring this medicine in the, in the public forum, the mass media, they will create a lot of contents. They may have a lot of scripting. That scripting need to be copyrighted. So nobody can duplicate, or though nobody can create the same scripting to sell another medicine. Then third point come about the patent. The patents are the entire process, how they are, what you say. See, for the medicine patenting and all is not so easy. Just for example, I'm just trying to say this medicine because by listening COVID medicine, this wording might, it might be one of the interesting topic for now. So that medicine, the genetic process, the process involved to drug this medicine will play a very important role. So that can be patented, not the product, only the genetic code, the process entirely. So by this way, you can protect. Then the packaging, the XYZ company may feel like my medicine should come into a golden cover package with, some kind of price tag in down, some kind of very exceptional looks. So that is called design. Even that can be protected. So as you might be everybody knowing that different kind of law deals with different kind of, the protection. For the trademark, we have a law called the Trademark Act of 1999. The copyrights we have, the copyrights we have, then the Copyright Acts of 1957. Then we have a Patent Act. Then we have a Designs Act. Now, this person, the COVID medicine they have invented, XYZ person, he have spent huge amount for research, for development, for testing. He might have, there are a lot of discussion and activities involved for, bringing a medicine at least in the market. So, so I'm sure they have done many, many things. So while doing this, he might have spent huge amount thinking that I will also get billions of dollars together. So what happened in these cases? When we came into the market, you might be listening the stories from now that some medicine or something, some Russian company might have, taken it or something has done. So there are a lot of discussion around it. I'm not sure that whether it is correct or not. I'm just talking about a report from media. Now, if such thing comes, how you are going to protect? That is the question. So protection you have to do. The brand name you need to register under trademark. The scripting of advertisement need to be registered under copyrights. The product process you need to register under Patent Act, and design you need to register under Design Act. So you are protected. Now you see. Your client comes and say, Mr. XYZ or ABC person, Mr. Anik is selling my medicine in the market in the name of XYZ, or he opened a website, or he did something. Then what you are going to do? This would be the very major questions once it comes. So see, for trademark violation, let's start with the trademark violations. What would be your legal scope and legal process? For the trademark violation, the first thing, the moment it comes to your notice that somebody is violating the trademark or passing off, ensure that you first go to a lawyer, speak with a lawyer, get a notice issued, asking him to remove the trademark because it is owned by my client legitimately, and there is a process involved to get the trademark registered also. So still, if he doesn't do, 90% of cases we have seen that companies are good. They avoid any kind of litigation. They remove what they call, they generally call for a arbitration or the mediation, and the matter gets settled. This is the very general practice. But 10% of cases, they don't even bother what is going to happen. So this is how we need to, we need to, do. So if anybody, without your permission, without having any contractual obligation or any kind of legal relationship, if anybody use the trademark of XYZ, so what we need to do, we need to actually plan for filing a injunction suit. Now, where the injunction suit can be filed? That will be the second questions. Injunction suit need to be filed along with the damages or only for injunction at the jurisdictional before the civil and session courts. You always remember it. There is a revision of a pecuniary jurisdiction from the different courts. Now the small process court, the civil court, civil and session court, high court, Supreme Court. So you need to file always before civil and session court along with your injunction suit and claims. Claims might be crossed together, but the focus would be the injunction. What does the injunction means? Injunction means you are stopping somebody to, or restraining somebody to do any act. So before the main judgment come, there is always scope that, before the main judgment come, main injunction come, it takes a permanent injunction. And before that, you can take even a temporary injunction. Now, what does the temporary injunction means? Temporary injunction means before they decide the final suit, the court can pass a order to prevent any damage or any unlawful loss or any irreparable loss. The court can issue a temporary injunction. There is a process involved. See, there is a order 39 rule 1 and 2. Lot of CPC's sections or rules are there which take care, which will be definitely taken care by the lawyers. But how it need to be done? So you need to bring your registration certificate. You need to prove that you are in use of the trademark from this date to this today. Lot of evidence we need to gather together. We need to file a plaint before the civil and session court. If it is only for injunction, it will go to civil. If it is civil with a damage, then it will go to civil and sessions. And remember one very important aspect here. Once you are claiming damages, then you need to make sure that it comes around 4 to 7% of court fees. So make sure that while giving this advice on damages, we are 100% sure, and you disclose to the client that this will be the court fees for damage amount, whatever amount you are going to raise. Like 10 crores, then it will be obviously 4 to 5 lakhs rupees of the court fees. But for injunction suit, the court fees is fixed almost in all the states, that is ₹25. So once you file the injunction suit with a special application of a temporary injunction, what happens? The court generally call, and they, on the same day or next day maximum, it comes before the bench. You need to somehow please the court that this is my trademark and Mr. XYZ trademark and Mr. ABC or anybody is using this trademark unlawfully. And I have developed this COVID medicines and under the brand name of XYZ, and this has been used and in order to gain more profit from the markets or sale, they are using my trademark and doing it. Court generally gives a injunction orders in this kind of cases. But given the fact that the prima facie you need to establish you own XYZ company, XYZ trademarks are used, and the second point that you are in use of this trademark. It is not like you have registered somewhere in the life and you have forgot. So this is very important aspects. So you got the temporary injunction, then you issue a notice to the other party saying that, boss, hey, I got the temporary injunction. Now what next? Next is, there can be two scenarios. One scenario where the person is following the court order and not using. Another scenario, the person don't even bother about the court order and start using XYZ and start, whatever he's doing, he's, like selling medicine in the name of XYZ, and he's continue doing it. This can be the two scenario. For the first scenario, it is very good. He obeyed the court order. He comes before the court, contests the case, matter closed. Second scenario, he doesn't bother about the court order. First thing, you need to file a application before the jurisdictional police station saying that despite the court has granted the temporary injunction, Mr. ABC is using my XYZ trademark. Kindly take a legal steps. You know, there are a lot of occasions and lot of times the police doesn't get much time to get into all those property issues. So the police will say, boss, it is a civil suit, you go and file one more civil suit. No, you need to file another contempt petition. Remember one thing, it is a very important, as per the section 20 of the Contempt of Court Act, it is very clear that for contempt petition, from the date of passing the injunction, should be within 1 year, that should be filed. Date of passing the injunction order, not any other jurisdiction or limitation should apply. But there are Supreme Court judgment which has developed over the period of time. Some judgments say, yes, last cause of action can be considered. Some people say that, you know, like it is, I'm talking about only for temporary injunction. Some people say, no, from the date, whichever date it has passed, you know, that should be considered. You know, recently in 2010, there is a Supreme Court judgment where it clarified all the cloud, and it finally said that from the last cause of action. So, you know that being a lawyer, we can create a cause of action anytime after even 1 year. Okay, so then the court issue notice, warrant, and ask the police to take necessary action. Police goes, take action. That's all. And the proceeding with the matters. Now, the thing is that this is what I said about the trademark. What you will do for patent and design. Trademark, patent, design, you will do the same thing. For the copyrights, you have a very good benefit. In copyrights law, there are some penal provision. So, in case of any infringement of a copyrights, if that XYZ company's advertisement script or their speeching or the way of convincing customer has been copied and pasted, what you can do, you can file even a first information report, that is called FIR, under section 63 and 64 of Copyrights Act. Many companies, many companies, they file, you know, we keep filing, I've seen keep filing it. Even I'm trying to say you that 99.99% of startups are having these copyright cases for them. They are using some kind of picture, some kind of song, some kind of things. We keep getting calls saying that Mr. So company has filed a copyright case against us. Kindly get us a bail. So this is what we keep seeing. So section 63, 64 of Copyrights Act, it says about a penal provision. Remember it, violation or infringement of a copyright is not only civil liabilities, it is also a criminal liabilities. So ensure that while using, or you know, you are suggesting any clients, you remember this, that infringement of copyrights also fall into penal provision, which punishment is 3 years. Once I say 3 years, it is not a bailable section, it is a non-bailable section, and it has to go for anticipatory bail. So for the protection of a patent, design, trademark, injunction, copyright, along with the injunction, you can even go for the penal provisions. Now, there could be a scenario wherein, you know, like the people speaks about that if I am registered, if I have not registered my copyrights, how can I protect my interest? If I have not registered my contents, many people comes and speak with us because we are very close to Karnataka Film Federation. We get to know many people. They comes, they sit, they talk, and they say, sir, I have something in my brain. I wanted to note it down and show somebody how to protect that. So the very first questions come that if it is not on the documents or somewhere, I cannot protect it. I cannot protect somebody's brain. So for the copyrights, it has to be scripted. For trademark, it has to be visible. For the patent, there should be a process involved to develop something. like you are manufacturing a COVID medicine. So the mixture, the component, everything should be mentioned. In India, there is nothing called product patent. It is only process patent. And design, the packaging, as I said you, going out of the packaging, I can say that even we can say about the Tanishq jewelry. So you can say they can be one of the biggest client for many lawyers for the design protection. So Tanishq average every year they does around 17,000 design protection. So you know Tanishq jewelry. If I speak about a jewelry, you can see with lot of artwork over there. So that's all I think so. So if I'm talking about a protection, so the protection I've already covered the protection under the infringement for the civil laws, and also for the copyrights we have spoke about the penal provision.
Great,
So
sir. Then we can start with the Q&A session, I guess.
that would be great.
Okay. Sir,
Chandrika,
we can
so
start with the
for Q&A session, Ayantika also will be participating, and
yes.
we'll be taking questions from. So
Sir, there is a question from Dinesh Yadav. Every patent infringement matter for grant of ex parte interim injunction followed the traded paths of general principles governing the temporary injunction as contained in Order 39 RR 1 and 2 of CPC. Why do courts refuse to grant interim injunction in public interest, especially in case of pharma companies?
See, Chandrika, actually, first of all, I am not commenting on any decision of the court. It will be really, it is also contempt of court now, right? So I want to make it clear, the answer I am giving is completely my opinion and for my and the whole team's discussion. So every case has their own merits and demerits. The court decide. I tell you something like I have a case called Bangalore Smile, and I have a case called Kids Castle, Kids Centers. So wherein the court has given injunction, temporary injunction for some and later vacated. It is completely on the merit. Each and every merit of the case need to be established to get a injunction. It is not always so that if I get a temporary injunction, only I will get a permanent injunction. No. Even after getting the temporary injunction, there are cases to cases that the permanent injunction should get dismissed on the merit. So it is not always assured that the court, I don't know what kind of fact and, like they might have not able to present the prima facie case, or they couldn't satisfy the answer with the court, or the ownership on that, the claim. So that can be the scenario.
I hope, Dinesh, your question has been answered by sir. The next question we have is from Arnaya Nath. What is the process of bail for copyright infringement?
I'm sorry, what is the bail for process the copyright infringement?
For copyright infringement.
Yes, so this is a very important question. The first questions come about what is the process of bail. See, generally, as I said you earlier, that copyright infringement also a penal provision. Now, if I'm talking about a penal provision, what happens? A police station get to register a FIR upon the complaint. See, I just tell you some random name. Please don't take that as a client name or anything. Mr. Lahari may file a case against Anik, saying that my son was so, I copyrighted and Mr. Anik is running it. In his somewhere in a commercial capacity, I'm doing it. So Mr. Lahiri might have gone to the police station, registered the FIR. The first thing what we should do after getting to know that FIR has been registered, we should plan for an anticipatory bail. As I said you, it is not a bailable offense. Bailable offense are offense where by producing before the magistrate, you will get a bail. But non-bailable is the offense wherein you need to stay in a jail for 1 to 2 days, then you get a bail. For the bigger corporates, we always suggest that the moment you come to know that FIR has been registered under the copyrights law, let's move an anticipatory bail. We need to file, first we need to gather all the documents from the court. It generally takes 24 hours. After that, we need to file an anticipatory bail petition before the jurisdictional session court, and court generally grant bail under some terms and conditions or without conditions. This is the process.
Okay, Lakveer, I would request you to write your question in the chat box. The next question we have is from Shiva Verma. To protect
Yes.
or not to protect? That is the question. Patent licensing in times of COVID-19 pandemic.
See, we should always consider this. My intellectual property is my it is from my brainchild. You have to protect it. Some, in the COVID session also, we have done some of the patent cases wherein that he developed a Sanskrit keyboard. So somebody copied that thought process and was trying to do it in some other city or some other states. So immediately we had to go and file injunction suit, and we got the injunction also, though we didn't have any kind of license. It is always suggestible before you do anything, ensure that today it might be small, today it might have worth of 100 lakhs. Who knows, tomorrow it might be 5,000 lakhs. So ensure that whatever business you are doing or suggesting to your clients, ensure that we start protection from the brand protection, then the content protection and the process protection. So we should always do.
Okay. Amit Jagga has asked, kindly provide citation of 2010 judgment.
I'm sorry?
Kindly provide citation of 2010 judgment.
Yeah, I will, will be shared. It will be shared. So what I was trying to tell that, can you help us with his email ID after the call so we can share with him?
Sure. I request Amit to share his email address with us so that sir would help you with the judgment. The next question we have is from Shreya Prasad. When can a suit be filed for contempt within the date of passing the temporary injunction or permanent injunction within 1 year from the date of passing? Okay, I'll repeat the question. Should I?
Please, please.
Okay. Shreya has asked, when can a suit be filed for contempt within 1 year from the date of passing the temporary injunction or permanent injunction?
Okay. So, as I said you, the section 20 of the Contempt of Court Act says 1 year from the cause of action. It has a lot of confusion. First of all, after permanent injunction, you can file even after a lot of gap. It doesn't have any limitation, but only for the in respect of temporary injunction, it is within 1 year from the cause of action. Am I clear?
I hope Shreya sir has answered your question well. If not, then you can write it in the chat box. The next question we have is, Naveen, I would say the recording you can get from lawyer's Facebook page as well as from Advocate Anik sir's page. This recording is there itself. The next question we have is from Latika. Please describe briefly difference between trademark, copyright, and patent.
I'm so sorry. She's asking about the differences between the trademark.
The trademark, copyright, and patent.
See, trademark is a symbol which you are getting a protection. Any brand name like Lloyd. I'm just giving an example with the Lloyd. The style they have mentioned Lloyd. So I cannot, as another person can open a similar brand name, similar style, and start doing a business because it will create a lot of confusion in the market. So this is the first of trademark, how the trademark. And I would have happy to show you some of the design and all, but okay, I hope you understood. So it is a design or the symbol or some kind of identity you are protecting under the trademark. Copyrights It is the script, some writing, some process, some song, some something like you might have heard lot of songs in a day from different singer in televisions and various mass media. If there is no protection for them, today the best song might get remixed by very next day. So if you are not copyrighted, if the owner is not copywriting the script, the contents, music, and the way they have done all the instrumental things, then definitely it will get copied by other person. So this is called copyrights. So trademark and copyright, trademark is a symbol and copyright is a contents. So it is very easy difference. And talking about a patent, the process, patent, it is a process of developing something. Something like you might have heard, Coca-Cola for very long time, Coca-Cola
Plus
case. That was
chemical,
one
I
of the
think.
best case you could.
Yes, the
Yeah,
formula, I
yeah.
think.
So yes, the formula, the process. The formula is nothing but a process. What you are mixing with what? So the process can be patented. The product cannot be patented in India. But in other countries, it can. Even the business thought process, method, business look also can be patented. But in India, only the process involved to structure it that can patent. So I hope by this explanation, you can easily understand the difference.
The next question we have is from K, I think. Can we do a patent on a product which is already in existence, but we develop the same by another process?
See, uh, we need to file these applications with the details of the product. As I said you, the advantage you can always take from in India, we don't have any product patent. In India, it is only process patent. So if your product involve the manufacturing of a product or the medicine, if the process was involved with something else and the outcome might be the same, which is patented, you can definitely file. But there is a scope of dispute. The authorities definitely may raise the dispute, which we need to attend and address it.
The next question is from Latika, whether there is any time limit for permanent injunction?
See, for permanent injunction, every court function as per the requirements and their legal process and structure. Some courts gives a date months together. Some courts gives, like every week they gives a time. And some courts, actually, it is depend on different city, different states. In Karnataka, we generally get a dates within a month or within a week. And for that, if I'm looking into Karnataka, Delhi, Mumbai, some of the metro cities, I have seen that.
Hello, sir. Anik, sir. We are not able to hear you.
I'm so sorry, guy. I'm so sorry. Am I audible, Paul?
Yes, sir. You're audible.
Thank you.
Sir, your video
So,
is not.
okay. So generally,
we are not able to see you, sir.
I'm sorry, Chandrika.
We are not able to see you, sir. Yes, you're visible now.
You will see me soon. Okay. So it depends on state to states, district to districts. I can tell you briefly wherever I dealt with. I have dealt with almost 23 courts. In that, I found Delhi, Bangalore, Mumbai, Chandigarh, and Chennai, Kolkata. They are pretty faster than anybody. If I'm talking about a pretty fast, it also takes 2 years of time to get a permanent injunction from those courts.
Sir, the next question we have from Priyanka is, can you share the sections from
Hello?
IPC Act dealing? Hello? Am I audible, sir?
I'm sorry, I missed it from you.
Okay, Priyanka has asked, sir, can you please share the
Hmm.
IPC Act dealing with injunction?
Okay, I'm so sorry. It is not in IPC. It is under CPC, Civil Procedure Code. On Order 7, Rule 1 and 2, it is the main plaint. Along with that, we need to file the application under Order 39, Rule 1 and 2. Can I repeat?
I think it was audible, sir. I think if Priyanka have more doubts to it, she can write it in the chat box. The next question we have is from Rajita Chawla. There are two questions. I'll ask the first, and then after that, I'll be asking the second one. Since there is a civil as well as criminal liability available for trademark infringement, which is more effective?
I am sure that criminal is more effective, which will have action within 24 hours.
So your connectivity is a bit low, I think. Like your video is.
Yeah, the criminal action is the criminal one will have the most powerful and very effective. We should always plan for the criminal action, which works out within 24 hours of time.
Okay. The next question from Rachita is, what will be the impact of IPR infringement that happens on e-commerce platforms after the e-commerce guidelines issued under Consumer Protection Act 2019 and the draft intermediary guidelines 2019?
Very interesting question. See, first of all, there is nothing relation between the consumer and IPRL. Consumer actually drafted, and the law has been. See, I got the new book today. Good that you have asked. So, so this is completely different than a intellectual property. The consumer speaks about the kind of service, the kind of goods, the defects in the goods, and how it is getting protected, and what is the liability of a service provider, the aggregators like Amazon, Uber, all those companies. They provide the service of other person. So that discuss in this new Consumer Act of 2019. It doesn't speak about infringement of a copy, IPRL. For IPR, it is completely separate topics and separate aspects. What we need to do in case of any infringement, any kind of issues, we need to take under the laws available. If it is under, if there is infringement of copyrights, we need to file a case under copyrights law and the CPC. So there is no relation between a consumer and the IPRL. But it is, there are very general people actually, people get confused, Chandrika. I have been seeing it many times that the people are thinking that new Consumer Act has come with a lot of protection. It is protection of the consumer, not the infringement of any kind of copyrights or the intellectual properties.
Okay, sir. The next question I have is from, I think, ATVK. Can you, so he has a lot of questions. So, hi, this is Advocate Abdul from Karnataka. He said he has a few questions. I would say, if you have a lot of questions, then I would request the speakers if we can get him in the panel zone so that he can ask the questions directly to you. If
So
not,
I think
you can write it in the chat box. His first question is how to protect my domain name.
So Chandrika, this is a very important and relevant things. We are again and again coming up and thinking that, seeing it every day, almost every day. I get every day 20 to 25 complaints from different companies saying that I have a domain called www.abcd.com. Now, what happened when this domain become popular or it is very known to by many peoples? Another company, www.abcbangalore.com. In if you go to GoDaddy or if you go to Big Rocks or any of the service provider, you can book any domain by having a slight changes on it. Hello. Hello. Am I audible? Okay, I think so. Audible. Okay. So what happens? www.abc.com. This, as per the new Supreme Court guidelines and some of the Supreme Court judgments, even a domain name can be registered as a trademark. It is a very, very exceptional thing has come in market. So this is the best way to get a protection instead of getting a anti-injunction suit or injunction suit. The first thing what the client should do, I always suggest, get the domain name, we'll get it registered under trademark and your domain is protected. Now, if any person open abcbangalore.com, definitely you can file injunction suit with the ownership.
I hope, Abdul, your question has been answered by
got clear.
If not, please, you can share it in the chat box, your query. If then also you have some doubts, let me know. Maybe we can, just let you, we'll allow you to speak with the speakers directly. The next question is, Devakaran has answered, is there any time limit for filing of suit of infringement of trademark?
No. The moment there is a cause of action, you can file from that day. Like you need to first issue a legal notice. After within 15 days of issuing legal notice, you can file. There is no time limit. If you own a trademark and your trademark is a valid, every license will come expiry date. So it can be done. So anytime within that period or even the extended periods, if anybody violate your trademarks or they try to use your trademark or name or style anyway, you can file from that day. There is no particular limitation. We call it cause of action in legal terms, from the date of cause of action.
Okay. Sir, the next question we have is, in what term is the balance of convenience measured while granting or not granting an injunction?
It is the first thing is a prima facie. If I'm talking about a prima facie judgment, see, recently we have a judge, we have a case from the Karnataka. It is a very highlighted case about the Kids Castle. In Karnataka, especially in Bangalore, it is very famous. The Kids Castle Center, Kids Castle School, those terms are very famous terms. So while discussing this case, the court has actually come up with a lot of things. What can be trademarked, what cannot be trademarked, what is called public juris, what is not public juris, how you can fight it out, what can be fight it out, all together. So if I'm looking into that case, especially, I'm seeing it again and again, the court says to establish a claim on any trademarks, the first thing you need to establish prima facie, you are the owner of the trademark and you are into use of trademark. If I'm talking about a ownership, it is not like me and Chandrika opened a company and I say that, Mr. XYZ is our trademark. Now I got separated and I am claiming the trademark. No, in those cases, you will never get injunction. If Chandrika is a different entity, I am a different entity, and if I have taken Chandrika's trademark and I am using it, Chandrika can file a case against me. So the court will decide, yes, Chandrika has a right over the trademark and Anik is violating that rights. Okay. So this prima facie, we need to establish that you are the owner of a trademark. And definitely you can get an injunction on it, temporary injunction.
Okay, I hope, Samiksha, your question has been answered by sir. So we have a question on social media. There have been so many where there has been infringement of copyright. Since the youth today cannot live without social media, can you assist them on what guidelines they should follow to avoid something like this?
Like if you can help me out with some example, it would be great. What kind of infringement happen in social media? See, if any
there have been a lot of fits in between, if you remember, sir, or I don't know if you know about those Carrie Minati things going on, using some songs and the images of one another, like TikTok. People were using, like YouTube ones are using TikTokers and TikTokers were using YouTubers. There was something sort of case was there, if you remember. There were some infringements, I guess. the
See,
copyright?
well, I tell you something. See, it is for all of our knowledge. All the uses of song and something like you have a birthday party at your home and you are playing Salman Khan songs. Sorry, Salman Khan is not a singer. I mean to say Shreya Ghoshal song or Neha Kakkar songs. It's not at all infringement. First, we need to understand what is the infringement, actual infringement. I have taken the song, I have been using it, reproducing it for my commercial activities, and I'm earning from there.
Yes,
So, yeah, I think so I moved out from the main questions. The question was, in the social media, you are seeing a lot of infringement. So if you see anybody or any companies infringing the rights of another person, we can definitely file a case or definitely take steps as per the civil laws, or we can even see the nature of the crime and take the criminal action under IT and IT laws and the copyrights law.
okay. Sir, can you, this is something really, sir, can you remove somebody from the participant, as I'm not able to join the meeting as the limit has crossed?
So,
If you
okay,
can
so
randomly remove any participant, I request the participant to join through any other platform.
okay, I think so. I will just, I don't know. I think so. Abdul might have asked question, right? I will remove Abdul.
No, Abdul, ke question? Yeah, it's totally your call. I mean,
I know it is something. I can see that it reached to highest participant, and I got around lot of messages actually. I'm removing Abdul.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. Then whom you want me to remove? Is it
No, I
comfortable?
think I might be able to join the meeting now. Let me see,
Okay.
sir. I was removed from the meeting.
Yes, you have joined.
Yeah. So the next question we have is from what has happened?
No issue. I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Do unregistered
Chandrika, you need to repeat. I couldn't hear you in between. Yeah, you are audible. Please go on,
do
Chandrika.
unregistered designs get do unregistered designs get copyright protection in India?
So, see, unregistered, every rights of unregistered property can be get protection. Given the understanding that that should be in use before the anybody get claimed or anything. So I need to establish it is a disputed rights. I cannot say it is absolute rights. It is a disputed right.
Okay. This is for the information to all the participants that we will be putting this video on YouTube today itself, so they can watch the session over there also, not to feel disheartened. Okay, the next question we have is there are a lot of questions, so I hope is it comfortable for both of you to take these questions
I
as
think
the
so.
time limit has.
I think I can take some time because it's been an hour. I may take some rest. So I will just hand over this, mic to Ayantika. So Ayantika
Sure,
can
sure,
address
sure.
for some time. Thank you. You just pass it.
This is for all the panelists that they can look for Lawyered page. Lawyered, they can follow Lawyered Facebook page over there. They can see the live streaming video over there. And the question is from Pranay: when court can order attachment of property or MAREVA, ma'am, are you able to? I don't know this terminology.
Attachment of a property.
Okay. Injunction order in IPR infringement suit.
No,
So are you able to get this question?
So you want me to take it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, Chandrika, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
See, basically, the attachment of a property and injunction, it is completely different aspect. Attachment of property takes place to recover any kind of dues. I give you example, like Mr. XYZ might have lent some money to Mr. ABC, or Anik might have taken some money from Ayantika, and I failed to pay the money. Ayantika filed a case saying that Anik has to pay this money. Court, after adjudicating, found that I am guilty and they asked to pay the money. Once they fail to pay the money after the court's order, Ayantika has the option to file an execution case against me. On the execution proceedings, the court actually goes and attach my property, so the court can sell the property and recover the dues and hand over to her. For trademark copyright cases, also the same thing can be adopted.
So what basically Anik is trying to tell is injunction. When you seek injunction for over any kind of thing of for a trademark or a patent or in a copyright suit for that matter, you know, the injunction will be a restraining order. It is not something wherein any attachment or any of such executable part will be ordered by the court. You will be only asked not to use or make any kind of, you know, if it is about display, if it is about usage, if it is about any other thing, then you are just asked to avoid doing that. So it is basically a restraining order. The execution part happens later. It happens later. It happens in due course in the same suit.
Okay. I request Sheila Shri to ask her question in the chat box. We won't be able to, you know, unmute you and ask the question to the speaker as it might get chaotic. The next question we have is, do you think the laws regarding infringement of intellectual property rights are lacking in some way? In what way can this void be bridged?
See, there are various aspects. There are various aspects wherein we do not have clarity. Okay, various aspects in the Trademark Act, or for that matter in the copyright. For example, now in the days of when we get this, you know, there are development of softwares and other things happening. So there are a lot of things which can be done. For example, in the US, we have product patent for software and software related, products. For example, for certain kind of software related goods, we have product option of product patent. In India, it is still not in vogue, and only certain kind of copyright. It can be only the coding can only be protected through copyright. So there is a great chance of improvement. There is a chance wherein we can upgrade our laws and just to suit the business needs. We can just take a chance to upgrade our laws.
Okay, the next question we have is from Zulfikar Hussain. How does likelihood of confusion factor into infringement cases? Can we establish an LLC while we have a pending sole proprietorship trademark application for the same business?
Sorry, come again. Hello.
Yeah, ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So, ma'am, I'll repeat the question for you.
Yeah.
How does likelihood of confusion factor into infringement cases? Is this a question like this is written? Okay. And there is a second part to it. So can I ask?
Yes, please.
Okay. Can we establish an LLC while we have a pending sole proprietorship trademark application for the same business?
See, deceptive similarity is the reason why an infringement suit is filed, basically, in this kind of situations. So the question what you have asked is in regard to similarity. So it is something which should confuse the public, should confuse the public at large, who are the consumers of the particular product or particular industry, who are availing the services from that particular industry or who are using that particular product. So in that way, deception is the the primary cause why these kind of suits are filed. All right. And coming to the next part of the question, I am can we have the question repeated?
Yes, ma'am. Just give me a moment. Can we establish an LLC while we have a pending sole proprietorship trademark application?
LLC is a business entity which is usually formed in the US. In India, we have LLP. Okay, the limited liability partnership concept.
Yes. So might be the person wanted to write LLP. I don't know. Maybe Zulfikar, you can write your query again if you want. If the question, if you're not satisfied with the answer, or you think there are more questions to your this particular question. So, ma'am, would you like to take next question?
So, if the person is talking about an LLP, then obviously it can be done. It can be done.
The application is pending for the trademark registration. Can they change the nature of
on the basis of prior usage?
Yes. So the nature of business from proprietor to
yes,
LLP.
ma'am. It is LLP. He rewrite it.
Yes. Okay, Chandrika, let me help you with the questions. I think so. He is trying to ask. He might have filed a application under a proprietorship. Now he has changed the business from proprietorship to LLP, or he is planning to change the business from proprietor to LLP. He wanted to understand whether is there any legal hurdles to do it. Chandrika, is this the question? Sir. Can you ask him?
Okay, I'll ask the question once again. I'll repeat the question. Can he establish an LLP while he have a pending sole proprietorship trademark application for the same business?
He can do.
Okay.
Definitely he can do. That is the conversion of a business actually from proprietor to LLP.
Or he can create a cluster of companies. A cluster of companies can be created under a particular structure, and the business can be divided. So basically the ownership of the, the IPRs are held with one particular company in this kind of grouping or structuring of companies.
Okay. The next question we have is goodwill also governed under IPR and can it be purchased?
Yes, goodwill is definitely under, see, goodwill is something like, as you know, that is over the period of time. Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, over the period of time, a person develop the goodwill of a business. Correct? So, goodwill is something actually should come, and it is actually belong to an individual or a business as a whole. So, if you have the trademark will have a goodwill, like SBI Bank. I can see it before me, so I'm just giving SBI reference. The SBI, the trademark itself is a goodwill of a bank, right? So you can definitely protect.
Sure. I request Sheila Shri and Abhishek Chaudhary to write their question in the chat box. Speaker would be happy to help you and take your question. The next question we have is.
Chandrika, I am getting some messages that somebody want to ask question in Kannada. So
Okay.
if anybody want to ask in Kannada, you can allow me to speak because it will be very difficult for you to convert the question.
Sir, the person might have sent you this question in private, like he might have shared it privately. I'm not able to see it. If you have the question, you can just say the question and
There's
answer
not
it.
even a question.
Yeah, we are seeing a lot of private questions also coming in.
Yeah, he's not asked. He just said that I want you to talk in Kannada. So his name is Krishna Nayak. Okay, in case he ping you in that group, you just allow him because it will be very difficult to translate in Kannada.
Okay. So should I ask the question? Next question, sir?
Yeah, please.
Hetal has asked, is it possible to discuss a bit about copyright law infringement with respect to digital media?
Yeah, so just a second, let me change my headphone. So see, the content creation in the digital marketing, it's very, very important aspects. If you look into any brand, any companies, they need to first create the contents. The contents not only involve in IPRL, also it involves legal methodology department, it involves different kind of compliances. So while creating any contents for the brand by the digital market, the people who is involved in digital marketing activities should keep always in the mind that whatever material they are using, either they or they have some rights under some contract, or it is unique. Am I clear? Am I audible to all?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay.
So whenever the contents in the digital marketing or for the brand we are creating, we should ensure it should be very originals, or we have some kind of agreement between the owner and the user. Suppose you might be seeing there are a lot of advertisement coming up actually, like with the old song, which is more than 60 years or more than 30 years, 40 years, with small clippings from the song. There are many suits has been filed. I tell you something very famous song that is called Ganda Phul. So this song actually sung by one of the Punjabi very famous singer, which was taken from a Bengali song called Ganda Phul. And he has paid around 5 lakhs rupee for the song's contents. 5 lakhs rupee means a lot for the folk singer, whoever sang the original song. You can Google, whoever is listening to you, they can Google the Ganda Phul song.
It is only possible because the song was copyrighted, right?
Yes, not copyrighted. Even though
that
it was not even copyrighted. No, it was not even copyrighted.
Okay.
It was in the public knowledge.
Okay.
So, so while creating the digital hoarding, the digital advertisement, the one should keep it in mind that whatever they want to use, they can get into touch with the owner of it, get a permission and use of it. So the Ganda Phul song happened the same way. They got in touch with the folk singer. They paid 5 lakhs rupees out of, he didn't have any kind of claim, and he got the permission, and there is no legal issues.
Okay. Sir, we have next question from Satyam Kharbanda. What to do to indulge in an IPR firm?
What?
To do to indulge in. What to do to indulge in IPR firm?
I'm sorry, can you just, what to do in indulging IPR firm? What should he do? What is the eligibility the person should have?
Yeah.
The person should have a law. So the person should have the this person should possess a law degree, and with engineering it really helps. And they need to write some of the exam to get trademarks, agent code, and lot of things. So Law with engineering, you can get some patent license and lot of activities and lot of license we can get. For this will benefit. But obviously, a law degree would be preferable.
Okay. So the next question is from Sukanya. Ma'am, as stated by you, we have process patents in our country, but don't you think product patent would be a better way forward?
That products, definitely it is, definitely. There is no doubt. I'm getting a lot of calls and messages, Chandrika, saying that the participants are full. So they are not able to,
Yeah.
they might have seen in WhatsApp, sorry, Facebook.
Yes, sir.
So whoever has done, they can drop and create some room for other people because they are not asking a question. Okay. So what I was trying to say that if the product patent definitely is the best idea, but think about that if every product is patented. Think about that you need to buy only the smartphone of an iPhone because you cannot buy a look-like phone. So
Yeah.
the cost of items will go much beyond than you can get it now. For 10,000 rupees, you can get on something very similar to iPhone now. It looks similar, the castle is similar. So if the product, the India start giving the product patent, it will become very difficult for India to maintain the price tag of the items. The consumer will suffer. But product patent is definitely a good thought process.
Okay, sir, the next question is why all IPC section and punishments are not showing front of the related government offices or public places?
I take your feedback. In case if I anytime talk to law department, I will definitely pass on this suggestion. But I always suggest that we can buy an IPC book if it is so required because there are 500-600 sections. It will be very difficult for somebody to paste before it. Very difficult. Which can, if the simply pasting also will be not work, it is not so feasible. It should be you are able to, anybody can see it. The alphabet should be big. Think about that 600 section in a government all while entering. So it will look little different and awkward also, right?
I would like to take this question as the last question for the session as we are running out of the time.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Though it was made for 1 hour, but I think people have a lot of questions for you to. So the last question is it from Vijayvel? Is it sufficient to claim rights by putting it in public knowledge without registering or for IPR? It is regarding Mika Singh song.
I was speaking about Gandapul. It is a Mika Singh song, I guess. No, not Mika Singh. I'm sorry. So, okay. So, see, definitely, which song has sung in public, which is in the communication of public, on that you cannot, it is not easy to claim something because the internet or whatever has been used digitally create a lot of footprints, right? So if I'm looking into the footprints, it is something like you will have some trace on which date it has been uploaded, created, which IP has been used. So with all those things, it cannot be win over. Mika Singh sang something over, before 2 months, I cannot create something over there and file a copyright on this. Definitely Mika Singh will have a claim on it and he can establish his claim.
Okay, sir, we are taking this question as the last question. There is one more. Piku has asked, is it the lack of product patent provision that we get
in our market?
Say, for example, in cell phone category, timely branded models copied or not branded ones?
Chandrika, I couldn't hear much, most of the parts. Can you repeat the question, Chandrika?
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, much better.
I think there are so many questions, so we need to stop somewhere. I think this is the last question. Is it the lack of product patent provision that we get to see various products in our market? Say for example, in cell phone category, primarily branded models copied on not branded ones.
Yeah, definitely. So the protection mechanisms are not there for the product, so it happens.
Sir, there are so many comments from the people that they really like this session. This was so insightful, so knowledgeable. Thank you so much, Ayantika ma'am. Thank you so much, Anik sir. Any closing word from your side?
See, I think so. One guy, Mr. Krishna, was trying to reach me. Even in the Facebook, personally, he pinged me many of time. If you get to see
Yes.
Krishna Naik question, please connect him. This is the first thing, because Krishna Naik, if you can hear me,
Krishna,
please ping us here.
The session is getting over. Krishna, I would request you to share your question in the Lawyered page live video. When you see the live video, just drop your question in the comment box and I'll be sharing that same question with Anik sir and Ayantika ma'am. Okay, Pankaj has asked, can we repeat such sessions in near future? And
Definitely.
there are so many questions
Definitely.
people are asking right now.
IPRL is a big top, in the oceans. Now, every house will have some IPRL issue very soon. It is like a domestic violence cases. So we expect that, in the coming days or the near future, we may have a lot of IPRL issues, because there are singers, there are writers within many peoples. And if you look into my comments or anything, the first line I should tell that the IPRL law need to be more stringent, and the enforcement should be more strong, and there should be some set of example where the people get scared of using it. In India, actually, the IPRL laws are not so stringent. There is a law, but there is a misuse of law. And misuse in the law, I mean to say that though it is not stringent provisions are there, the people get to, obey the law after certain times, or in between they try to settle it out. So it is always recommended to, to all the forums that they should discuss how to bring stringent provisions in the law. And also they need to set some examples. By setting some example, actually it creates a lot of fears in the mind of the peoples to do any kind of infringement or passing off or any kind of violations. So
okay, I request all the participants to write their question to us at partnerus@lawyer.in, or maybe you can visit our page and write your questions and drop them in the comment section. That would be helpful, because we cannot take all the questions. Sorry, and apologies for that. So I would like to thank Lawyered for organizing this webinar, and also Ms. Ayantika ma'am and Mr. Anik sir. Thank you so much for giving your valuable time and share your insights on this topic.
and everybody joining this call. So we hope to see much more in coming days.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.